National League West rivals. Both teams hoped they'd be in a better spot. Bottom line, it's the beginning of a 3-game set on Fox Sports Arizona. It's the Dodgers, it's the Diamondbacks, and certainly glad to have you with us this evening. Let's take a look at the standings. And again, this is what I'm talking about. Do you think that when these teams were practicing here about a month ago, they expected to be battling for last place? They both hope things change in this series. Hello there, folks, and welcome back to the ballpark. We trust that your week is going to be a good one. He is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. Let's go ahead and talk about 3 weeks or so, Gracie,
okay.
Maybe even 4 weeks, because 17 of the next 25 games for the Arizona Diamondbacks are within their division as we look ahead. They step out a little bit, but it's within their division. They do their work, and they need to be, by Memorial Day, a club with a tough June ahead of them at the 500 mark or better.
Well, this is where divisions are won and lost when you're playing in the division. If you can go beat San Francisco, the Dodgers, when you can beat the Padres, all of a sudden you're gaining game after game after game every single time you win one of those games. So you have to take care of your division. Worry about the other stuff later, but right now, as you said, this next couple of weeks is monument for the Diamondbacks.
Andre Ethier is on a torrid pace. It was in March that his number 14 for the St. Mary's Knights. Local boy, of course, was retired. He went to ASU. He's walking them off with regularity the last 2 years. He is on pace for right now the early Triple Crown.
Yeah, he's been a lot of fun to watch. And isn't it interesting? They got this kid for one Milton Bradley. I think that was a pretty good trade, Dodger fans. This kid just continues to pound the baseball, not only hitting in the seats, but getting big hits as well, hitting near 400, right around the mid-380s. He's doing it all. He's a terrific right fielder, so I just look forward to seeing this kid play for 3 games.
You ready for a little Dodgers against the Diamondbacks, a little rivalry?
It's always a great day when
I
the
knew I could get him
Diamondbacks
going.
beat the Dodgers.
Rodrigo Lopez is on the hill. Chad Billingsley is on the mound for the Dodgers. They matched up earlier this year. Neither one of them very sharp. One of them had better get it right tonight. Presents Diamondbacks Baseball, brought to you by Gila River Casinos, proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com, grab your bag, it is on.
A beautiful night at Chase Field for baseball. A new week, a new series. Diamondbacks taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers here at Chase Field tonight. Jody Jackson on the field with you. And, you know, a few days ago we talked about our replay series that we show on Fox Sports Arizona, where teams get to replay games from the past. Well, no question, Rodrigo Lopez and Chad Billingsley would like to replay their matchup back on April 14th in Los Angeles. Billingsley went 5 2/3, giving up 6 runs. And Lopez 5 runs in 5 innings, but Arizona won that game by the score of 9-7. As you see some of the highlights of that game, or should I say lowlights for these pitchers. But in that game, A.J. Hinch mentioned that Rodrigo Lopez, yes, the Dodgers made him work hard, and there's no question he'd like to pitch in the zone a little more than around the zone like he did in that game. But the one thing you have to love about Lopez, in 6 starts this season, tonight will be his 7th, just 7 walks. So hopefully that will continue, that type of efficiency from Rodrigo Lopez. Much more to come as we get it started here. First pitch just a few moments away. Matt Kemp, he has been red hot against the Diamondbacks. 3 home runs already this season, flashing the power. We'll see what develops tonight as these two teams meet. NL West foes trying to climb back to 500. It all starts in just a few moments.
In his 29th season, 2,260 victories. He began as a player-manager with the New York Mets in the 70s. The Dodgers, 4th in the National League Western Division. Some of the things they are doing, like the Diamondbacks, they are hitting. Manny Ramirez missed time. The bullpen is scuffling as well. The Dodgers are 4-11 on the road. That needs to be pointed out. Let's take a look at the lineup. We'll have some more thoughts on L.A. throughout the evening. Brought to you by KFC. Russell Martin bats leadoff. Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, Manny Ramirez is back. James Loney, Casey Blake, Blake DeWitt, Jamie Carroll with Furcal on the disabled list, and Chad Billingsley is on the mound. 34-year-old right-hander Rodrigo Munoz Lopez ready to go. 7th start of the year, 1-1 with a 4.14 ERA on a Monday night at Chase. Glad to have you with us as Russell Martin hits a fly ball to right. Upton shy of the track, puts it away. So 1 pitch, 1 out, nothing wrong with that. The numbers on Lopez delivered by our good friends with the UPS store. Part of those numbers, his first start in May, he was good in Houston.
He was very good in Houston, and really the Diamondback starters, for the most part, have been rock solid, Darren. There was a couple of tough ones there out of Edwin Jackson, but he cleaned it up certainly his last start. Rodrigo right on the heels of Ian Kennedy. So they need to go as deep as they can. There's Ian, did a great job yesterday. Unfortunately for him, the offense didn't do much, and then they turned it over to a bullpen that continued to struggle.
1-1 the count to Matt Kemp. The electric center fielder, 278, 7 homers, 21 RBIs. On base, you can see at 350. Slugging over 500 this year. And Kemp, off the end of the bat, that line drive will hang up there for his counterpart, who's having the same year offensively, Chris Young. Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively. Gillespie gets the start. Young and Upton. It's brought to you by Jaguar. Reynolds, Drew, Johnson, LaRoche, and behind home plate, Chris Snyder. A.J. Hinch was going to give Connor Jackson the day off yesterday, opted to go with today with a left-hander working. And so Gillespie gets the start. And maybe not a bad day because Billingsley has owned Connor Jackson. Not many people have. Speaking of owning, this guy owns just about everyone lately. Andre Ethier, 10 home runs, 32 runs batted in as Connor looks on to a red-hot hitter. Pick a number, and he's doing it well.
That's why you're very pleased that you got 2 quick outs. You want this kid hitting with the bases empty.
They buried that one in on his hands.
Rodrigo just had a 6-pitch inning, Darren Sutton.
Good way to start things. Tied Ethier up with a cutter. 1, 2, 3. A bad matchup since 07. A.J. Hinch talking about it before the game today. The Dodgers in town. Let's take a look at the Southwest.com. Southwest Airlines starting lineup. Johnson, Upton, LaRoche, Mark Reynolds, and the Dodger killer, Stephen Drew. Chris Young, Cole Gillespie, Chris Snyder, and Rodrigo Lopez against a 25-year-old right-hander out of Defiance, Ohio. It was back in 2003 that they made Chad Billingsley a first-round pick. He really struggled out of the gate. ERA of over 7. His last 3 starts, his ERA is about 3.5.
Now, stuff-wise, this kid has got, well, it's electric. Got a good fastball. He likes to cut the fastball as well, Darren. A good curveball. It just makes you wonder how this kid's got an ERA in the 5s and an opponent's batting average of over 300. That's incredible.
301 is that opponent's batting average. Career high 366. Opponents on base. Kelly Johnson takes a strike over the outside corner. Keep an eye on the left-handed hitters tonight, meaning Johnson, LaRoche, and Drew, because lefties have lit up Billingsley this year. You see the numbers on Kelly. Very good numbers. So he gets him out front with a curveball. Johnson rolls out. Kelly was 1 for 8 in that Milwaukee series. That's a 4-3. 1 for 9 on the homestand. There he is, back and left. Mercedes brings you this defense. Ethier and right. Blake, Carroll, DeWitt, and Loney. With Russell Martin catches every single day as he catches Chad Billingsley. So now Justin Upton. Upton 2 for 9 in the Milwaukee series with a double. Hitting just .220 this year. 5 homers, 16 batted in. And up at the club level that one goes. 0-1 the count.
Was that nearly contract time?
It wasn't.
No?
No.
Just checking.
I'm still warming up this early in the game. Spotting contracts for fans.
Okay.
Not quite ready for that. Ready for that. That one's driven to right field. Ethier looks up. That one's off the wall. Upton racing on around. What a pretty piece of hitting. Look forward to seeing this young man get hot. Upton with a double. That's his 6th on the year.
Well, the left-handers have lit up Chad Billingsley, as you said. The right-hander, Upton, he gets a mistake right over the middle of the plate, drives it the other way over the head of Andre Ethier. So Justin Upton, that's good to see, Darren. We haven't had that Upton hot streak yet. Because they're kind of fun when they come around.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. He and Mark Reynolds, both streaky hitters. They have been their entire careers. But really looking forward to that. Here's Adam LaRoche. Curveball. It's funny, you got Kelly out front with that straight down breaking ball. Folks, there's no side-to-side movement on that one.
Just 12-6 right there, and right at the kneecaps. Good pitch.
4 home runs, 20 runs batted in for LaRoche, hitting .260. Couple of home runs in his career against Billingsley. And a couple of those homers in 11 at bats. He's 4 for 11 with 2 homers and 5 strikeouts. When you throw a curveball like that, there aren't many true classic straight down curveballs anymore in the big leagues. Throwing like that, it's equally as tough, righty or lefty, it doesn't matter. As we were saying.
If I'm Billingsley, I'm not going to throw Adam LaRoche anything but curveballs tonight. That one bounces way in front of the plate. Adam can't lay off.
Still with the runner still out there in scoring position, here is Mark Reynolds. You can already feel, again, those numbers, by the way, lefty's hitting .382 against Billingsley. That plan of attack, that curveball very early, he's cognizant that he's got to get his lefties out. Mark takes a fastball high, 1-0 the count.
Usually the best way to attack a curveball is lay off of it.
230, 10 home runs, 27 runs batted in. He scored 24 runs as well. Walking a lot more this year. You saw that on base of 346. That went up just a bit, I guess.
2 pretty good pitches. He didn't get the call from on either of them from home plate umpire Ronnie Culpa.
That was like a cut fastball. You throw that curveball about 20% of the time, cutter about the same. An occasional changeup. Doesn't throw his fastball nearly as much as he used to early in his career. And so Mark steps out, timing him out. Got a good arm. He has a good fastball. Averages about 92 miles an hour. There's that darn curveball again.
Diamondbacks cannot lay off of it. That was almost a balloon. That was about 66 miles an hour. That's a eephus. I didn't know Billingsley added the eephus pitch to his repertoire.
Yeah, he's changing speeds off that curveball. When we show our graphic here in a bit, his curveball is a lot harder than that usually. The 2-1. Fastball is low. 3-1 the count. Remind us what the eephus pitch is.
Well, sometimes it's called a blooper ball. Just a slower than slow curveball. Usually anywhere from 50 to 70 miles an hour, just very slow, almost like a lob.
3-1 the count. Just off the plate. Billingsley curious about that strike zone.
So is Russell Martin.
That Ether's pitch, by the way, was not that one. Like that slider.
Well, another walk, though, from Mark Reynolds. That's good to see.
That's 20 walks this year. The on-base will go up. Stephen Drew has an 8-game hitting streak against the Dodgers alone, hitting .382 against his foes from out west in his last 8 games. Goes back to the curveball against the left-handed hitter, 0-1.
Well, Stephen Drew is worn out. Billingsley. That home run came the last time he faced Billingsley. And he really hammered him on his fastball. So Billingsley's no fool. He's going to make him hit the off-speed stuff.
Inside, 1-1 the count. Well, you can see Billingsley and Martin feeling for the strike zone right now. They're letting it be known that they're trying to figure it out with Ron Kolpa.
They're trying to they're asking, where do you want these?
There's that curveball again. Threw that one harder. This is the homer you're talking about.
I'd be shocked if anything but a breaking ball came here, Darren.
And Martin's so important because in all likelihood he'll bounce it in the dirt. You see the year Stevens having. Hitting over 300.
Yeah,
there it is.
They can't lay off of it.
And he has had a differential of 14 miles an hour on the curveball alone. So already very crafty, the right-hander. Hardly threw a fastball that inning. By Nissan. Right now, get a great deal on your new Nissan during Nissan's National Tent Event. See a Nissan dealer today. And by the law offices of Alcock and Associates, dedicated to helping the seriously injured. 1-800-INJURY-LAW. Manny Ramirez greeted here a little bit rudely by the Diamondbacks fans. And the energy suddenly picks up. First pitch swinging off the end of the bat. 7 pitches, 4 outs in the game, all in the air. And all but one of them to center field. So all dressed up and no place to go at this point.
Yeah, it's obvious the scouting report on Rodrigo Lopez is he's going to throw a lot of early fastballs for strikes. And these Dodgers very aggressive. At least the first 4 Dodgers very aggressive against Lopez. And right there, if you're Rodrigo Lopez, keep it up, please.
Well, there's no doubt about that. His first pitch strike percentage is about 70% of the time this year. That's way above what he does in his career, and that's about 15% above league average. So the numbers bear out that he has been killing the strike zone early like that. Loney's the type of hitter, though, Gracie, it's got to take a pitch or two. He's not a home run hitter. He likes to use the whole diamond. He's finally heating up, too. He was a little quieter earlier this year. He's a good hitter.
Seems to be a guy that always seems to get big hits against the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He was 7 for 15 in that series in Los Angeles. Last year finally quieted down against LA a little bit. Or I should say for LA against Arizona. As that one is lifted. Well struck. Gillespie on the run. Looking up. It's out of here. As you were saying, 1-0. Seems to get a lot of big hits against the Diamondbacks.
You know, for a guy that doesn't hit many home runs, that's a long, long ways to hit a ball the other way. Just a fastball tailing away, maybe a changeup. He just goes down and drives it. Boy, very impressive.
High fives from his mates. As that one is a strike. Another first pitch strike to Casey Blake. 7 home runs now in 26 games here at Chase Field. Over 400 in this ballpark. 7 home runs in 25 games. There you go. And as we mentioned, he is warming rapidly. I mean, you got to figure he has 47 home runs, and that's against everybody in Major League Baseball that he's ever played against. And 10 of his 47 have come against the Diamondbacks.
Go to plan B, D-backs.
3-1 the count. Now Lopez obviously shaking a bit. He's given up 7 home runs. He'll give up home runs. He's a guy that lands right in the middle. That one is down the line out of front of him. He's not a ground ball pitcher. He's not a fly ball pitcher. He's somewhere right in the middle. But he doesn't strike out a bunch. And when he does strike you out, it's looking majority of the time. So he'll give up his long balls. The good news for him, of the 7 he's given up, that's just the second solo shot. So if there's anything to be optimistic about on that situation.
Well, they say solo home runs don't beat you, but that's before the Diamondbacks' bats went cold against the Milwaukee Brewers.
They had a tough series offensively. Arizona hit just 196 in those 3 games. Good pitch, buried the fastball in. We were talking about the bats. That was a club that on the season has averaged over 5.5 runs per game. They average just 2 runs a game against Milwaukee. Hit below 200, as we mentioned. Fly ball belted right field. He took it the other way, but the ballpark holds it just shy of the track. All of the outs are in the air. One ball that wasn't caught went over the wall. 2 outs.
It's kind of what you want. You want him to beat you to the big part of the ballpark, and that would be center field in the opposite way, and that's where all the fly balls have gone. Center field in the opposite way. Just James Loney happened to get it a couple of rows back.
One 1-0 the count to Blake DeWitt. 0 for 3 in his career against Rodrigo. Base hit. He picked on a changeup out over the plate. Is that what Loney hit out as well?
I believe Loney hit a changeup, as did DeWitt. So go ahead and throw something else there, Rodrigo.
Well, again, lefties, very much like Billingsley, are much better against Rodrigo as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a changeup. It wasn't in the middle of the plate, but DeWitt just spanks it right back up the box. Nicely done by the youngster.
James Loney with that homer to give the Dodgers a 1-0 lead as Carroll digs in. Loney alone has an 8-game hitting streak against the Diamondbacks.
So this is a guy you're always seeming to call his name, grit your teeth as you do so. The veteran Jamie Carroll has found his way here to Los Angeles. And Rafael Furcal with a hamstring injury has missed 11 games. Those have been played by Carroll. And basically he's done a nice job, folks. He really has. I mean, you look at the numbers. Hitting .343 since Joe Torre's starting shortstop went down.
Well, that's all you do when you get somebody like Jamie Carroll. He's not going to be a guy that you say when he makes the ball club that, oh, you're going to be my starting shortstop. Well, you'll be my starting second baseman. But if somebody goes down, he can certainly fill in capably for a short time.
Popped up. This is an easy chance. Everything in the air. Except for the one that went over the wall, they've all been caught. 1-0, Homer Loney. Loney Homer. Well, yesterday, what a magical moment it was. That is grandmother Peggy Lindsay. What a proud day. Dallas Braden's grandmother. He threw the perfect game. Obviously, you've heard the story, Braden losing his mother in high school. She said simply, I wish his mother was here to see this. A very emotional day. And I'll tell you, congratulations to Dallas Braden, his family, his grandmother, who you could tell that is going to change her life forever.
That was very cool.
Over the outside corner. Cut fastball there. Strike one to Chris Young. Grandmother also had, a little bit of moxie. She was excited and proud and emotional. And
right.
She sent a message to A-Rod.
Did she? What'd she say?
Stick it.
Really?
Yeah, she did.
Told A-Rod, stick it?
The 1-1 is outside. 2-1
Grandma.
the count.
What big eyes you have.
2-1 the count.
I'll be the first one to shake her hand.
Somebody's going to be shaking Chris Young's hand. Deep. Out of here. Picked on one of those off-speed pitches, Young.
Yeah, that's that curveball, Darren. And you can see Chris Young making the adjustments. He watched from the dugout as Billingsley struck out LaRoche with curveballs, struck out Stephen Drew with curveballs. He got a curveball early in the count. I guarantee you he was looking for it, got it, and did what you're supposed to do with it. Drilled it into the seats.
Another Fulton Homes home run. That means another $150 from Fulton Homes to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. And for Young, Homer number 5, RBI number 26. 26 runs batted in. When you talk about those numbers, 26 RBIs is to count as 1-1 on Cole Gillespie. Same amount of time last year, he had 8 RBIs. And he was hitting 193.
He's really turning it around. It's good to see. There's a curve ball. Gillespie swings through that one.
Cole hit his first big league home run against his old teammate from the minor leagues, Giovanni Gallardo. They played Double-A baseball together in the Brewers organization a couple of days ago. That one bounced in there. So we'll do it again. 1-2 the count on Cole Gillespie.
Talking about the Brew Crew. They've gone back home to Milwaukee, and well, they're getting pounded by the Atlanta Braves at home.
Double D.
Was that Doug Davis?
Oh, it is.
Oh, boy.
Yikes.
7-0 Atlanta in the 6th inning. Run it in there with a little anger.
2-2 the count to the man out of Oregon State. 283 career hitter in the minor leagues. Outside. 3-2 the count. An on-base percentage of .390 in his minor league career. And that man, what a start. Spoils a good pitch.
It's really good to see. Chris Young is he's one of those guys you can't help but root for. He's a good kid. He cares. He puts in the work, constant work of hitting, outfield practice. And his coaches work him hard. He's receptive. You want a kid like him to succeed.
Yeah, the heart is in the right place for that young man, and so are the efforts. Again, chases the pitch. This one up in the zone to hang around. So both Houston boys, we keep coming back to Houston. Young has homered, and Loney has homered as well. Both young men used to battle as prep stars in the Houston area. Got him out front. Popped it up. Speaking of Loney, he's got it. All right, you folks. The Dodgers are in town. You and I both spent a lot of time growing up in Southern California.
Right.
Grew up out there. So please take no offense because we don't. We're from that part of L.A. or from that part of the United States. What's the worst thing about L.A.? We ask you. Text to 36929. Is it A, the smog, B, the traffic, C, the attitude, or D, the sports teams? What's the worst thing about L.A.? Say it's a couple of Southern Californians. So please don't take offense because we don't. Our producer's a Southern Californian as well. So
there's a Laker fan. I have a feeling we're gonna see some Laker fans sometime soon.
Oh boy,
around the valley.
Beat LA. The 0-1. Snyder on the ground. Range doubling it up as Carroll makes a nice play. Amy Carroll covering some ground, and so Chris Snyder is erased.
Nice play there by Carroll. Had to go a long way to his left. And got Snyder easily.
I don't care about the smog. I don't care about the attitude. I was raised out there with that attitude. And the sports teams, my answer is no. The traffic is what I
got to say the traffic as well.
Traffic is terrible.
I'll tell you what, some of the best things about L.A., Big Tommy's Burger.
Oh, a Big Tommy's Burger. There's no doubt about it. I would agree with that. One and one the count. Traffic, though, terrible. Major metropolitan, you have two massive counties connected to one another, Orange County and LA County right there. And that 5 freeway couldn't be more antiquated.
Yeah, you're right.
You make the drive right from where you grew up. Let's say you were visiting someone in Tustin, going up the 5 to Dodger Stadium. It's like a lane on each side most of the time.
It's true.
It's the freeway that goes to Canada, for goodness sakes. Sorry, you got me a little riled up.
You did get a little fired up about the traffic, didn't you?
I've made that drive a couple of times. Mom lives down in Orange County, so I will pass on the team hotel sometime. Rodrigo hits it out to Jamie Carroll. And in time for the out.
California girls are nice, too.
You vote for E then? Is that your E?
California
Okay.
girls.
Chris Young with a
Well,
homer.
East Coast girls are hip. I really dig those styles.
Side of the box brought to you by Jack in the Box. A 3-homer game on this date in 2004 against the New York Mets. Luis Gonzalez. And certainly worth remembering. He'll join us in the broadcast booth as my color analyst this weekend in Atlanta as Gracie goes off on network assignment. So join us as we hit the road to Atlanta, GA. Alonzo up in the booth as we welcome you back to Chase Field. Rodrigo Lopez completing his warm-up tosses. Lost again. That's what happens when you drive the 5. It's down to one lane on this side, SIG alert on the other side. You maybe try a 605 or a 710 hop off to sneak the other way, then you're LA, lost again. It's a great sign by that young man. Chad Billingsley to lead it off. Boy, first pitch strike specials tonight.
All day.
We can hit a little bit. Homered last year. And that one is fouled into the seats. 8 of 9 first pitch strikes.
I lived down in Tustin, the 5, and there was another parking lot called a freeway called the 55 freeway.
Oh, the 55.
Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get on that one.
Mm-hmm. The 0-2. That one is high, 1-2 the count.
And like that one was packed at 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
Now, if you go down the 5 and you need to get to the coast, you hit the 55 to cut you
right
on
to the
over.
beach.
Yeah.
Newport Beach.
The 1-2.
Never get there.
That is basically that 55 is where all of Riverside County comes to the beach as well.
That's exactly right. From the Inland Empire.
The Inland Empire. Well said by you.
Thank you.
So you're voting, I'm hoping.
Any smog haters out there? I hated that smog. Third stage smog alert.
Don't care.
Oh. I respect the sports teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got the Lakers. I don't think the people here would like to talk about the Lakers right now.
Really, why is that?
Well, the Suns are there. The Lakers are close. Mm-hmm. Lakers are close.
The 1-0 to the leadoff hitter, Russell Martin. Look at the run on that pitch. 1-1 the count.
ASU and U of A have to play against USC and UCLA.
Now you're
There
talking.
is no NFL in LA. Go figure.
Which is amazing.
Which is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of.
The 1-1. Good old Al Davis.
Yeah. They miss him. Sports team.
See? Stirring the pot. We're stirring it up a little bit.
What do you think about the attitude? See, what do you think of the LA attitude?
Which is what, laid back?
Well, are they thinking like snooty or laid back, or what are they thinking? Like got their like an arrogance,
Really?
or are they thinking more laid back?
I don't know.
All the above.
I think if you're to stereotype, which we should never ever do, as that's ball 4 to Russell Martin. Russell reaches, and that is the first walk of the ball game for Lopez. I think if you're to stereotype Southern Californians, you'd say that they were laid back, right? By the beach, hey,
Yeah,
what's going on,
I guess
dude?
once you get up to like, Encino and Beverly Hills and those kind of places, now you might get a little bit of attitude.
Like the Valley Girl movie from the 80s, the Valley Girls.
Oh, remember that movie? That was a good movie.
Yeah, that was minor league. 1-0 the count to Matt Kemp. Kemp flied to center field back in the first inning.
Nicolas Cage, what a good punk he made.
That's right, he was in that. That was a pretty good movie, actually. A good pitch. Beat him with a fastball that ran in. He got him last time.
Oh, boy.
And he hit 3 homers in that series, so he got just about everyone. He had a big one against Aaron Heilman late in the ball game. One of the tough nights for that bullpen. 1-1 the count. There's a lot to like about Matt Kemp.
Man, no kidding.
Player, obviously talent. I think he's just tapping into it. And as a person as well. I think he was miscast early in his career. There were some veterans around him that kind of felt like he wasn't doing his part as a young player.
They were jealous.
1-1 the count. Pops that one up. Just enough to.
Into each other.
And Kelly Johnson comes on out, makes a play for the out. So Kemp 2 away.
If I may, Darren.
Sure.
Saturday, May 22nd is a Chase Field game you don't want to miss, folks. It's 70s night first and foremost. And the first 15,000 fans are going to get the ultimate collectible, the D-backs Garden Gnome. That's right. Grab your lava lamp, put on your bell bottoms, then get some tickets. Call 602-462-4794 or check out the Gnome. Oh, check him out at dbacks.com/gnome with a G.
Well done. That was a monument read. Andre Ethier takes the curveball.
We're going to the open. Yeah. Oh, wow.
0-1 the count. That's a sharp shirt. I like that shirt.
I do too.
Ethier fly to center field.
He can pull that shirt off.
You bet he can. He flied to center field back in his first at bat in the first inning. Well, that was close. Now, Martin will steal a bag or two. He's only has 1 this year, but when those legs and that body wasn't as beaten down over the last couple of years, he'd give you 20 from the catching position. And he can cat and mouse you a little bit, Gracie. We caught him a few years ago, didn't we?
We caught him playing possum. Good breaking ball.
The Amica Insurance partnership with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metropolitan Phoenix, very important to talk about, as we also talk about the hot and cold zones for the man who played for the St. Mary's Knights here locally. Had that number retired this past March.
Snyder wants a high fastball. You better get it up there.
He didn't, and it was a hit and run to perfection. Though, because it got so quickly after Cole Gillespie, Martin just moved up 90 feet, but He didn't get it up high enough.
Yeah, that was a really poor 0-2 pitch right there. Just a belt-high fastball, outer third, just swat it the other way. That was pretty.
So now, Manny Ramirez. There statistically was the theory, and it was accurate, that Ethier just wasn't the same without Manny. First couple of years they were together, or half season plus, I should say. And then the next year to follow. This year, not the case. This year, with Manny on the disabled list, Ethier hit 400. So starting to settle into his own right. Every number huge, Ramirez against the Diamondbacks. Ground ball hit hard into center field. Here comes Young. 2-1 the score. Manny Ramirez drives in a run. He didn't wait around at all. 13 RBIs this year. He missed 14 games with a right calf strain.
Looked like a fastball, middle in. Just bang, right back up the box it goes. 2-1 Dodgers. This lineup just keeps coming at you. Any mistakes you make, they make you pay and pay dearly.
The interesting thing about that, everyone knows and talks about the big home runs from Manny Ramirez. I mean, when you climb up in the 500 and 600 homers, you're known for your homers. That was a beautiful piece of hitting. That was more like a Rod Carew RBI than it was one from a slugger. And I think Gracie, and deservedly so, what gets lost because of his suspension last year, and now he's always going to have to wear that as an albatross around his neck, is just how solid he is as a hitter. I mean, a contact hitter.
He can be a contact hitter. Yeah, he's always been a difficult guy to strike out. He's very, very bright hitter as well. He might come across as kind of aloof or kind of goofy. He ain't goofy at all. He's one of the smarter hitters you'll ever see. Studies it, works hard at his craft.
1,801 RBIs now.
Golly. Amazing.
A career 314 hitter. And 2,513 hits for Manny Ramirez. 1-2. Reached back a little bit for that one, did Chris Snyder. This is the second inning. Curveball, ground ball, hit out to Kelly. Johnson makes the play, but Manny Ramirez steps on top of 1,800 RBIs now to 1,801. Kachenko. What is it? Find out and learn how you can play. Our good friends with Gila River Casinos bring it to you here at Chase Field. Go to Section 111 during the Diamondbacks regular season home games. That is a Kachenko.
Right in that far right side again.
Every single time.
Is there a magnet there?
I think so. They always used to say that, didn't they, about the Plinko game, Bob Barker? They wondered if there was a magnet. Strike one. Meantime, a walk comes around to score.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. That was the Dodgers took the lead. Russell Martin drew a walk. He ended up coming around and scoring. And, you know, that makes you think in between innings, golly, you know, all walks seem to score. It just seems like don't all walks score. Well, no, they don't all score. The Diamondbacks pitchers this year have issued 104 walks. 104, okay? Of those walks, 35 have scored. And you think, okay, 35 of those 104 walks have scored. That's 34%.
I'm with you.
34%. Do you know that's the worst in the National League?
Oh, boy, the highest percentage.
That's the highest percentage in the National League. What do you think the league average is, Darren? 34%. The league average is 24%.
Oh, boy.
So it's 10 percentage points higher than the league average. So needless to say, Diamondback pitchers have had trouble pitching around walks. More trouble than anybody in the National League. There's that breaking ball again.
The throw, and Kelly Johnson. Did he turn inside the bag at all? Well, they're going to say the bat knocked the ball away from the catcher.
Well, Joe Torre's going to come out and have a conversation. The bat did hit the ball and knock it away from Russell Martin. But let's see if it was, I think in Ron Kolpa's mind, if he didn't do it on purpose, it was inadvertent. Yeah, the bat did hit it. No question, the bat did hit it. You can't see it there, but the bat did hit it. It was inadvertent. This is a great shot of it right there. Bang. I think the Diamondbacks just got a big break. I guess if it's inadvertent.
So again, the umpire's job, like it is in a lot of situations, Gracie, that's one of the things that's challenging for umpires is intent.
Right.
You look at the ball, you knock it with your bat, you're out.
Right. Yeah, if you strike it, just whack it. Run. No, you can't do that. But that was inadvertent, so the Diamondbacks get a break. Let's see if Justin Upton can make them pay.
Over the inside corner, strike one. Upton doubled back in the first inning, and I mean it was a pretty piece of hitting. Not many guys as strong as this young man that could hit a line drive as far as he did the other way off the wall. And it was a line drive. Three for 17 coming in against Billingsley, so now 4 for 18 with 2 doubles now. And the best part of that accidental knocking of the baseball is it leads off the inning for the Diamondbacks. A late call of time. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't mind. I know you're over there really digging up your numbers, and you brought some good ones to us.
I'm doing some research today.
What the percentage of drop third strikes to lead off an inning when the bat inadvertently hits the ball, how many of those score?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. And in the last 5 years, that I've done my research, well, that's never happened.
Okay, so we're looking for first time.
So this is really the first time that's ever happened in Major League history. So we're about to create a new stat right here for you tonight, folks.
He claims he saw it happen one time, but it was in the Southern League. It was a Birmingham game. Upton, shot up the ladder, got to get back. It won't happen this time. It won't happen in this inning either. Because as quickly as Johnson got a little help getting on from his bat, the bat of his teammate Justin Upton hit a laser beam, and then he was doubled off.
Tough luck right there for Justin Upton. That was a bullet, but unfortunately, right at Casey Blake, who climbed the ladder, snared it. And Kelly Johnson off to the races, didn't freeze on the line drive, and it cost him a double play.
1-0 the count to Adam LaRoche. That pitch missed. 2-1 the score. The Dodgers lead it over the Diamondbacks. So Upton with a rocket shot in both at bats. Only one time does he have a hit. 2-0. Now LaRoche, if I'm not mistaken, it was 3 straight curveballs that got him last time, right?
3 straight curveballs got him. He's missed with 2 fastballs. Missed with another fastball. Go figure.
I mean, he got him to wave with the last curveball that bounced, if not on the plate or around or in front of him. That's this homestand for Adam. He was 1 for 11 in the Milwaukee series. 3-1. LaRoche had a couple of doubles and 2 RBIs. 3 for 8 in the series in Los Angeles earlier this year. Ball 4.
Interesting.
Not a single curveball.
Interesting. That's why I'm glad I'll never understand pitchers.
Now batting third baseman, Mark Reynolds.
So let's see if Mark can make him pay. Remember, you were talking about those walks that score. League average being, what, 24%?
Right.
The Diamondbacks, when their walks reach, they score less than league average, about 22% of the time, which is surprising for what they've done this year offensively. They have not been able to cash in on walks.
They've really struggled of late.
And they have the 3rd most walks in the National League. So what could their offense be? As that one is fouled off. Mark walked and didn't score back in the first inning. A couple of runners were stranded. Out front of him, it needs to be mentioned, was a Justin Upton double. A Chris Young home run, the lone run for the Diamondbacks. 1-2. It's a 3-gamer. Dan Herron against John Eli tomorrow. Edwin Jackson against Hiroki Kuroda on Wednesday. And the team that loses this series will have the early honor of dubious ownership of last place.
Yeah, they'll be looking up at the rest of the division.
So 2 of 3, a good thing for that skipper. Got him over the inside corner. Reynolds goes down on strikes.
was in the tar pits.
Glad to have you back here at Chase Field. Mark Grace, Darren Sutton, and you. We'd like for you to think about our AT&T trivia question. Name as many of the 7 lefties to throw perfect games as you can name. 7 left-handed pitchers that have thrown perfect games. We'll see what you can do with that.
We need to see that again.
Casey Blake, pretty curve ball, drops over. 0-1 in the count. Blake fly to right field back in the second inning. Another breaking ball, a little bit harder, and it stays away. Blake 4 for his last 30. The Dodgers just wrapped up a 10-gamer in which they went 6-4 against Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, and Colorado. Another breaking ball, cheating out front a little bit. And Larry Boa picks it.
Still got great hands, doesn't he?
Great hands and a good edge to him. Has always been known for that edge, that attitude.
That temper.
Pee-wee. The 1-2. Bouncing ball. That's Kelly Johnson. An easy hop. And he throws it on in time for the out. Is that the first out on the ground? No, the second. Loney grounded out. So Blake continues to struggle. Here is the other Blake. First name, DeWitt. Last name. He singled back in the second inning. He had a real quiet home stand. 4 for 29.
Oh, my.
Pretty good pitch there, huh? Lopez off to a solid start with that 4.14 ERA, the veteran right-hander. As that one misses low, 2-0 the count. Of course, facing the Dodgers as he did in that game on the 14th, a real honor. Because it was the exploits and the successes of Fernando Valenzuela. As that one misses in. Legendary Dodger and Mexican-born baseball player that had several countries watching very closely.
Exactly.
Is the reason that he plays baseball. And he'll say it over and over again. You can ask him a million different ways. 3-1 the count. And his father, as Fernando looks on, said they do some charitable work together now. Rodrigo and Fernando do. Talk fairly regularly. He loses in ball 4. And don't forget, while you're watching the game on Wednesday night, Diamondbacks and Dodgers, you can hop online and have a live web chat with Jack Magruder. Starting at 6:30, log on to FoxSportsArizona.com and talk baseball with Jack. Here's Jamie Carroll. That one dives right down the middle. Good sink on it. Statistically, having for Rodrigo his best year since he had a 14-win year back in 2004. That year his ERA was 3.59. Was a reliever and a starter that year. Was really busy. I'd love to have a few more wins to show for his start, though, of the season.
Nice breaking ball, and that one just locked up Jamie Carroll.
Lopez has won 15 games twice, 14 games once. That work being done with Baltimore as he chases DeWitt back. For the Dodgers, 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. For the Diamondbacks, a run on 2 hits and no errors. That almost got it. That one sailed in. Good pitch, though. 1-2 the count.
Change up that just fluttered in. Just that late run almost got him in the elbow. You're right, Dan.
Carroll not interested in moving out of the way either.
Yeah, if you're going to get hit by a pitch, get hit by a changeup. Those don't hurt as much.
Looking for a ground ball. Hasn't rolled up many in this ball game. 1-2 the count. Oh, yes, he walked away from soccer, this young man, outside of Mexico City. Tlalnepantla in Mexico.
I love it when you do that.
His father played minor league soccer, was a professional soccer player. The 1-2. Chased away. Rarely when he gets his strikeouts are they of the swing and miss variety. That's a big one.
That's just a breaking ball that just right past Caro. Chased a pitch about 6 inches out of the strike zone. Thank you very much. Really need to put a goose egg up here.
And you got the pitcher.
Yeah, you got to keep your focus. This guy's not a bad hitter.
128 in his career. He's homered. He's driven in 11 runs, and a breaking ball is a strike.
Yesterday, Chris Narveson hurt the Diamondbacks with a big 2-out base hit. And then he also pitched like Warren Spahn.
The 0-1.
That's pretty hitterish rip he takes there, don't you think?
It is a good rip. 2 for 9 this year. 2 for 10 with the strikeout.
This is head right on it. That's a guy that knows what he's doing up there in the batter's box. Did I just say that about a pitcher?
Good to see you coming around, Gracie. 0-2 the count.
Only Dan Heron.
The 0-2. Bouncing ball. Steven is there. Scoops it up. Throws in time for the out. There's the 0 that you requested, and I would imagine all our viewers did as well. Goran Dragic, 26 points. Game 3 against the Spurs. And he loves when he's not tearing apart those dreaded San Antonio Spurs. They're taking a ball game.
All right.
Good to have him here tonight.
Goran.
You remember the last time we actually interviewed him when he was here. He's been here a couple times this year already. Baxter was, well, trying to make time with his girlfriend.
What?
Oh, yeah. Baxter was hitting on his girlfriend.
That dastardly Baxter.
He's sneaky.
Yeah, but you didn't know he was sneaky that way.
Well, he had to say goodbye to the Gorin as he had to go and rescue his lovely lady friend.
That beautiful lady right there.
From the arms of Baxter. And here's a guy that may be playing in the NBA Finals at some point.
She's wearing her Diamondback colors, too. That's kind of big league.
I think that's a gift from Baxter. Don't say anything. 2-0 the count.
Can't tell anybody. It's our little secret.
Don't tell Gorin if you're watching. 2-0 the count. Boy, what a difference a year makes. How about that graphic? 3-0, and it always needs to be mentioned. Drew did strike out in the first inning, but he hits over 400 in his career against Billingsley, and that's in 40 at-bats. And he's pitched like it.
Straight.
A leadoff walk, and now Chris Young.
It's 3 walks now for Billingsley. Now you got to take advantage.
Chris Young.
He saw all those curveballs that were thrown in front of him. He was ready for the curveball. Dare I say he was sitting on a curveball because it looked
Had
like
to be.
it.
This time he got a fastball and didn't get the call.
I mean, was it a bad one? Was it a hanger?
It just didn't do much. It wasn't belt high. It was knee high, but it just kind of spun. It just didn't have any snap to it.
But he still looked like he was sitting on it.
He crushed it.
1-0 the count to Young. Outside 2-0 the count. More relaxed at bats. You know, talking with manager A.J. Hinch, his assessment, and Jack Howell seeing some of the same things as well. This club came back with great offensive numbers. 11-game road trip, found themselves offensively, continued to do good things, and suddenly the Brewers come to town and white-knuckling the bat, grinding sawdust off the bat. Instead of intense at bat, tense at bats, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. And it makes you wonder why. It's just, the Brewers just seem to have the Diamondbacks number. And maybe it's something where the Diamondbacks look out and they see who they're playing, and it's in their heads. And all of a sudden, oh, we can't beat these guys. Even though the Brewers were 5 games under 500 coming in. And then the Brewers are losing 7-0 tonight to the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, double D.
That was Doug Davis, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Our old buddy.
2-1 the count. I wanted to run that by you and see what you thought. 3-1.
3-1 now after a 4-pitch walk to Stephen Drew. Now Billingsley having trouble finding the strike zone.
Hal went on to say that these hitters were also taught a lesson that they may go long stretches without seeing any fastball that's hittable because they've proven they can hit the fastballs, like what Narveson did yesterday. High pop. He beat him with a fastball
he went
there.
Right down the middle with a fastball and beat Chris Young with it.
All right, let's answer that trivia question. A good one. We got Burley, Johnson.
I got to believe Sandy Koufax got to be in there, doesn't he?
Let's go on down the list. David Wells.
David Wells, forgot about him.
Kenny Rogers, Tom Browning, and Lee Richmond.
Lee Richmond. Who's that?
A 19th century perfect game.
Were they using sticks and...
You don't remember? You made a great diving play down the line.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To save,
yes,
to
it
save
was your old teammate.
Lee?
0-1 the count. And the Hall of Famer was catcher, Joe Garagiola. 1-1 the count. I do a big jump with you. Someone in his 40s making him 110.
Well, it's what you do. Saying I feel, well, according to me, Lee Richmond had really good stuff.
I'm the one with more gray hair than you, my friend. The 1-1.
As we get a little older, there's a little more salt than pepper, but that's okay.
I'm almost there, sir. I'm catching you quickly.
It's a handsome shirt.
That's distinguished. Now that's not distinguished.
Yep.
It's terrible.
Awful.
There's that curveball. Boy, I tell you, he really has changed speeds on a single pitch, hasn't he?
He really has. It's been impressive. He realizes that these Diamondback hitters, they can't lay off of it. And when he throws a good one, boy, I mean, lots of swings and misses.
Nice job.
I'd love to see Stephen Drew maybe try to make something happen over there at first base.
Take off. He's got one. He hasn't been caught.
I mean, with all the breaking balls that Billingsley's throwing, he stayed put for 5 pitches in Chris Young's at bat.
Look at that.
And you can see when he goes, he's very good at stealing bases. He just doesn't go very often.
2-2 the count.
I don't know. I may have to stand up and give Stephen Drew the steal sign. What do you think?
I think you should here in a moment. Let's see what happens. Stays put. Inside, stretching that corner a bit. Gillespie goes down on strikes. Wow.
According to pitch tracks, it was a little bit inside. Some crazy music being played here at the ballpark.
Chris walks up to it, digs into the box, rounded out to short back in the second inning.
Darren or folks at home, are you planning a special event for your company, school, or group? Contact the DBAC Group sales representative, and they'll do everything for you. Customize flyers, set up food and beverage, get your best seats in the house. Call 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com/groups.
Big league read.
Well,
Sutton's stamp of approval.
Yeah, it was all right.
The 0-1. Curveball stays high. 1-1 the count. Lee Richmond, by the way, threw that perfect game, as you can see the numbers for Chris Snyder. Very good with runners on. On base percentage high. He walks a lot because the pitcher's behind him. He threw that perfect game in 1880 against the Cleveland Blues. He was pitching for the Worcester Ruby Legs.
It's the Browns.
Not back then.
Oh.
Bouncing ball to short. The final score of that game, the Worcester Ruby Legs 1, the Cleveland Blues nothing. Gracie in that game 3-for-3.
And we welcome you back to Chase Field. Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, an NL West rivalry. And Jody Jackson in the stands here now. And Dodgers Diamondbacks also means Malone versus Malone, at least in the household here for Melanie and James Malone. We see Dodgers here for Melanie, Diamondbacks for James. And Melanie, you're a passionate Dodger fan. Why is that so?
Well, I grew up in Los Angeles and have many fond memories of my dad taking me to Dodger Stadium, me and my brother, and it's in my blood.
And so your husband, James, a little bit of a problem here, Diamondbacks fan. And James, how passionate are you, and how does this affect the relationship?
I love D-backs. Anything to antagonize her is great,
nice.
And that's pretty much why.
Now, however this game turns out, and the series is here all week, obviously. Will this go past the car ride home, or how does this go?
It goes every day when we're watching games at home, even. So, he does anything he can to antagonize me, and really, it's all in good fun. So
all in good fun, absolutely. Well, finally, James, our text poll tonight has to do with the rivalry, and it's what do you like least about LA? And it's smog, traffic, sports teams, or the attitude. And what would you say?
Well, it's definitely the attitude of LA, and plus the players with the long hair. I can't stand it. So, cut the hair.
James is really not a fan of Manny Ramirez.
Right, Mandy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Mandy.
Enjoy the game and the rest of your evening.
That's great stuff. As that one runs in.
The attitude and the long hair. Cut the hair.
G said it was all in good fun. Did he look like it was all in good fun?
He didn't. He and Charlie Kerfeld down there didn't look like they were having too much fun.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Rodrigo curious where that pitch was. Pretty good pitch, but it's ball 4 to Russell Martin. All right, now it's all in good fun. Charlie Kerfeld, the old relief pitcher there. He's surrounded. There is Charlie right there.
Well, that's not Charlie.
No, it was a moment ago.
There he is. Got himself a nice career setting up for Dave Smith down in Houston.
Yavapai Junior College here in Arizona as well. That one is popped foul.
It was the last teams that ever scored a run for the Houston Astros.
Really?
They haven't scored a run this year.
I wonder what Walter O'Malley would think about those wigs. Fans wearing wigs to games.
He probably. Good question.
The 0-1.
Good pitch.
0-2 the count. I mean, just a thought. It's a very tradition-rich franchise. Walter O'Malley. What would he think? What would Branch Rickey think? 0-2 the count. Maybe Duke Snyder. We know he can hit. So can he. So can he. The other way, Upton shoots it on. The runner trying to move up. It gets away. And a throw to third over the head of the cutoff man. And Matt Kemp just walks right into second.
Well, we've seen Justin miss cutoff men this year. You try so hard to make the play, make the big play. You just launch it. And there was no play. And Kemp just never stops running. When you give away that extra 90 feet, boy, that's cause for big innings. Now Rodrigo going to have to do some fancy pitching.
Andre Ethier singled back in the third inning. Fly to center field. Dodgers lead it 2-1. High drive, deep right field. Upton going back. It's over his head. It's off the base of the wall. Both runs will score. Andre Ethier gets it done. 34 RBIs to lead the National League. 4-1.
Well, leadoff walk scores. All of a sudden now, These Dodgers opening it up. Fastball up and out over. Just puts a pretty quick swing on it. Justin can't get back. By the time he gets it in, the Dodgers are threatening with a big inning.
Ethier takes a walk around. Mel Stoudemire Jr. out to the mound to talk with Rodrigo Lopez. Rodrigo this year in his 7th start. Coming in, no one on base. Opponents hit .265 with runners on base. .344 is the opponent's batting average. So it's been a tough go in that situation. Yeah, how about Andre Ethier? Talk about a triple threat.
Putting up MVP numbers. Hello?
Pretty darn good, huh? Here's Manny, nobody out. Pops that one up. And into the seats it goes.
You know, Manny's one of those guys. He's not only terrific, but he's also one of those fortunate guys. And all the great hitters are fortunate. You know, when he misses one and pops it up, it's foul in the stands. You know, he doesn't pop them up fair in these situations, it seems like. Now, of course he does, but it just doesn't seem like it, does it?
No. It doesn't at all. These two have met a ton. From his time in the American League East, both of their time spent outside. Pretty good pitch, not getting the call there. 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI. Came in 15 for 60. 15 for 60. All those times they've met. 250 clip. He's gotten him twice with homers. He's also struck him out 15 times. Bolt right to third. So he hit it hard, but he's an out.
And a changeup that hangs. Oh, man, he just scalds it right at Mark Reynolds. Good base running out there by Andre Ethier, not getting doubled up.
Wasn't it Reynolds playing third? You can tell me if I'm wrong, at Fenway Park
yes.
A couple of years ago when Manny nearly knocked him off the wall with a line drive.
In a huge situation. I remember you and I were.
Stephen Brewer is there for the second out. Loney is erased.
Keep finding those fielders, Rodrigo. But you and I were doing the game, and Tony Pena, the former Diamondback, was pitching. And I remember Tony Pena was throwing him fastballs, and you and I were saying, whatever you do, Tony Pena, do not throw him a slider. Do not throw him a slider, whatever you do. Well, what does he do? He throws him a slider. And as you said, knocked Mark Reynolds off the green monster with a line drive.
And literally, without exaggerating, I think he literally knocked him off his feet.
He did.
As he caught the ball.
He did.
The Diamondbacks get to go back to Fenway Park this year. We were the fortunate ones to call a couple of games. What a June it's going to be for the Arizona Diamondbacks when you look at the calendar. As that one is low. And that's why we talked about it tonight. 17 of the next 25 against the National League West. And a real need to be around 500. To be around 500 or better by Memorial Day. Because June is a challenge. I don't care what team you are.
June's going to be tough.
The 2-0. That one is low. This is the schedule that we're talking about, taking us up to that point. And you have some journeys outside of the division, but there's a lot of West in there. All the gray is West, as you can see. With the Braves in there. Chipper Jones coming up this weekend. And then Andy Griffith right after the ball game.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I can hear the late, great Skip Carey in my ear.
Fly ball, left field. Braves win the World Series. Andy Griffith is next. The 3-1 What a good man. That is ball 4. We'll see his son Chip this weekend as he is television voice locally there for the Braves. So another walk. Blake DeWitt singled. He walked as well. Speaking of those Braves, they're done with those dastardly Brewers. 8-2 the final. Atlanta beats Milwaukee tonight. DeWitt, a little bit late on a fastball. And then towards the corner it goes. Two runs in here in the inning. Andre Ethier's double plated a pair, Martin and Kemp. No balls and 2 strikes to count.
Kind of a hanging breaking ball right here that he gets away with, Darren.
Let's see what the 34-year-old right-hander has up his sleeve. Well, to end it right here and have the 8 and 9 hitters hit in the next inning. And strand a couple of runners.
Oh, boy. Just missed inside.
Well, Culpa has, for the most part, been fair. There haven't been big corners on either side.
That was inside. It's the right call.
The other side, more of his blind side, as he sits on that inside part of the plate, he's been giving just a little bit more. But, again, he's pretty small zone tonight. That's a strike. But 2 big runs in the inning. St. Mary's High School is where Andre Ethier was a young man and a baseball star. He was a star at Arizona State, an All-American. He's been all-world here at Chase.
Every month, Fox Sports Arizona focuses on an organization that's helping the community. This month, we recognize Building Safer Communities, where Silent Witness and Valley Police agencies team up to keep our streets safer. See how you can help. Check out www.buildingsafercommunities.com.
And that's a good thing. Good stuff, Gracie. First pitch to Rodrigo Lopez is strike 1. Diamondbacks need to get something going. Starts here, unfortunately, with a 9-hole hitter who grounded out to short back in the second inning. And a blazer goes right by him. 0-2 the count. Billingsley, we've talked about, last 3 starts have been better. Much better. Pittsburgh, Washington, Milwaukee got him a little bit more, as that one is high. But Chad, in his career against the Diamondbacks in 14 starts, has 7 wins and a 3.80 ERA.
That was quick.
Very quick, as he makes Rodrigo Lopez quick work. Quest high-speed, internet high-speed pitch. Chad Billingsley has gotten 94 miles an hour as he has reached back. Rodrigo Lopez, 91. Of course, Quest, a proud team partner of the Diamondbacks and Fox Sports Arizona. Here's Kelly Johnson. 2 runs per game in that Milwaukee series, and previous of that, nearly 6 runs per game for a month. These Diamondbacks, and just 1 run here in the ball game tonight. And no matter the reason, whether it's seeing Milwaukee again and having you grip the bat a little bit tighter, they have not loosened up on that grip. One and 2. Kelly's 0 for 2. He did reach on a drop third strike on a wild pitch back in the 3rd inning. And there's that curveball again in the dirt, and Johnson waves right through it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Billingsley in the 5th.
You know, sometimes you just get overmatched, and that was one of those times. Took a couple of fastballs for strikes and ended up swinging at the breaking ball in the dirt.
So now Justin. Justin has been on Billingsley tonight. Hit a double to right off the wall. Hit a screaming line drive to 3rd that was turned into a double play. And he takes high.
Diamondbacks continuing to scuffle with the lumber here again tonight. Darren, only 2 hits thus far against Billingsley.
Fastball ran in. Good pitch. Couldn't do anything with it. Another big, strong outfielder. Matt Kemp hauls it in. 6 in a row, sat down. Glad to have you back at the ball yard. Our Blimpie game summary. If you're just joining us in the 2nd inning, Loney lighting it up, going the other way. A pretty piece of hitting for James's 3rd home run of the year. Then Manny Ramirez singled in a run right back through the box. Didn't overswing at all. What's new? That man doesn't have to overswing. Andre Ethier drove in a pair with a double. He leads the National League in just about every offensive category. And so that's where we stand, 4-1. Our Blimpie game summary. When you look at the line score, Chris Young with the home run. And so the Diamondbacks with the 1 run in the ball game. 2-0 the count to Jamie Carroll. Carroll had a nice home stand, playing every day, 11 hits and 33 at bats. And the count is 2-1. Outside. Rodrigo looking to complete the 6th inning here. He has done that in 5 of his 6 starts. He has gone 7 or longer in 2 of his 6. His pitch count's plenty manageable at 85. Topper out to third. Kept Bill high. Reynolds makes the play and in time for the out. Carroll kind of stumbled past the bag as he raced through it. What have you seen tonight that has made Chad Billingsley, Gracie, so effective?
Well, for my money, it's been his curveball. And the inability of the Diamondback hitters to lay off of all those breaking balls in the dirt and an occasional fastball to free some folks. But I think the curveball has made the fastball that much better. And like I said, most of the breaking balls out of the strike zone in the dirt. And that's an easy out right there. As a hitter, he hadn't been very good, but he's been an awfully good pitcher tonight.
What do you do about a pitch like that? It's a straight down breaking ball. Do you pick a spot where you decide if it starts blank, knees, waist, whatever you decide, I have to leave it alone?
I would. My thing was, but if I see he's not throwing it for a strike, if I see anything spinning besides a fastball, anything spin, take it. Take it. But obviously these guys are not seeing the spin because they're chasing the breaking ball down in the dirt. I would say that's the biggest difference right now.
It's almost like he surprised him with that pitch.
Right.
They know it's in the scouting report. Speaking of breaking balls, there comes one to Russell Martin. Justin racing into the corner, runs out of room, bangs into that wall. A chest high, his ribs banging into that padded wall.
There will be no contracts given out for that game. Terrible catch.
The 0-1. Backs him out of there. He talk about the work, how Martin kind of has tough second halves. Starts from 06 until today. Jason Kendall #1, Russell Martin #2. Line drive center field. Russell with the base hit.
Well, that changeup's been getting Rodrigo in a little bit of trouble tonight.
Center fielder.
Just stays up in the zone. Bang.
It's interesting when you go to that list of games caught since 06 as a starter. Brian McCann is next. Then A.J. Pierzynski, 4th. And tied for 5th, Benji and Yadier Molina have started the same amount of games.
That's amazing.
At 497. Is that unbelievable? Boy, goodness. Did it change up? 82 miles an hour.
I don't know, whatever it was, it just hurt Matt Kemp's feelings right there.
That's tough to do. All right, boys, somebody kick the bat rack down there. Anybody. Sports Arizona presents Diamondbacks baseball, brought to you by Blimpie, America's Sub Shop, and by your Valley Hyundai dealers. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Your dollar. Hyundai, now the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. Glad to have you back here at Chase Field. All right, folks.
What do you got?
It's officially time to put your rally caps on. It's officially time to whatever you have to do. I mean, that rabbit's foot.
E equals MC squared, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes at this point.
It's time.
This potent offensive club that had terrorized the National League, a little bit quiet the last 4 days.
At home. Exactly. Got to thrill these home folks with some offense. Right?
Yes, you do. One and 0 the count.
Looked like a little cut fastball there, didn't it?
He'll throw some of those. He'll throw a handful.
Nice pitch. Goodness gracious. There, Adam LaRoche laid off that breaking ball.
Well, we're going third time through the order. You could tell his plan of attack, especially against lefties, because lefties have tattooed him this year, was to break it out and not keep it in his back pocket. It served him well.
Diamondbacks have drawn 4 walks already. None of them have come across the dish. Just a solo home run from Chris Young. That's been it.
Pitch number 86 is outside, a leadoff walk. All right. Go ahead and keep that rally cap on. Rub that rabbit's foot. Maybe crack a couple of raw eggs in a blender. Make yourself a protein shake.
Oh, I like it when you go Rocky Balboa on me, Dan.
Offense too good. Too successful for too long of a time. It's not like they had one good week. They had one really good month. And they knocked Billingsley around the ballpark on the 14th day of April at Dodger Stadium. Fastball in on his hands, and he pops it up.
Trouble.
That guy cleans up trouble pretty well, doesn't he?
He had to come a long, long ways. So after a walk, Reynolds was first pitch swinging, a ball up and in.
This baseball's a funny game, isn't it? He totally missed his spot.
Yeah?
Martin wanted that pitch
swing
away, and because it ended up where it was, that's what made it so effective. In.
That's exactly right. Sometimes you get fortunate. Sometimes your catcher and you might be wrong. Maybe we need to go inside right there.
All right, here's Stephen Drew. He's been missing there a lot. That front side spinning open, rushing a little bit to the plate. A couple of times he's gotten calls on balls that ran right through that part of the plate. 1-0 the count.
Ooh, boy, he got away with one right down the middle that time.
Belisario warms in the pen. And they see what he has.
Take a look here, folks. Oh, baby, that is right down Broadway. And a good swing at it from Stephen Drew, but he came up empty.
1-1 the count. Shoots it to left field. Manny Ramirez going back. What a beautiful piece of hitting for Drew. Runners on second and third, one out. He picked on that same breaking ball. This one didn't bounce. He let it travel deep into his stance, and he scalded it. Wow.
Well, that's just, yeah, this is just a guy that Stephen Drew is comfortable against, and that's Chad Billingsley. Got a fastball, fouled it straight back. Then he knew Billingsley was going to go with the breaking ball that time. It stayed up and out over. And Ramirez with the bare hand gets it back in. And Adam LaRoche has to stop at third. Diamondbacks cooking up a brew just like you asked for, Darren Sutton.
All right, they are cooking it up a bit. Chris Young Beacon Insurance Company's proud partners of the Boys and Girls Club with Metropolitan Phoenix. Girls Clubs, I should say, plural, many locations. The hit zones, the hot zones, where you don't want to throw it. He homered on a curveball that didn't do a ton back in the second inning. Then he flied to right in the fourth inning.
Joe Torre going to make a visit. I think he's seen enough. Wow. Joe usually doesn't come out without the hook.
He just made the move. Billingsley didn't want to come out of this game. He is done.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, he is hot walking off the hill. 5 1/3 innings, 7 Ks. Wow, Billingsley has not gone 7 innings once this year, not one time. And it won't be tonight either. Is getting some relief pitchers healthy of late, and this bullpen has certainly struggled for Los Angeles. Ronald Belisario comes in for the 9th time. Last time out, he pitched 4 days ago against the Dodgers, a third of an inning scoreless. The outing prior to that, 1 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs allowed. Ronald Belisario. And Chad Billingsley was irate when he was taken out of this game.
And I can't say I blame him. I mean, this is a guy that Dodgers have certainly going to hang their hat on. But Chris Young had already taken him deep and earlier in the game, and I would imagine Joe Torre didn't want that to happen again, because if it does, it's a tie game. Belisario throws a big sinker.
1-0 the count. And that's almost exclusive, isn't it? I mean, you look for that pitch most every time. There he is. He's back. The 1-0. Outside, nice take from Young. This, whatever happens in this at bat, this just isn't Chris Young from a year ago. That just wasn't happening a year ago.
Yeah, that would have been swung at and probably tapped on the ground somewhere. Instead, he's sitting on a 2-0 count. Possible damage.
Outside.
Took another one that was just off the plate. That's the thing, when you've got the movement that Belisario has, a lot of times it just moves right out of the strike zone. Oh, dear.
Neither one of these clubs bragging on their pen, but mind you, that's still a 2-run difference with Arizona's. Inside, ball 4. They are loaded for Cole Gillespie. Gillespie getting the start tonight. Connor Jackson given the day. Chad Billingsley watching. Not working, watching. Cole has popped to first, and he has struck out looking.
But the one thing that walk to Chris Young does, it sets up a possible double play ball to end the inning, and you've got the sinker baller and Belisario out there. Look at the ball just move right out of the strike zone. 5 straight wide ones. since Belisario came in. Russell Martin going to go out there and probably tell him in Spanish, throw me some strikes. But Russell Martin, a Canadian. Jackson looking to possibly get a whack. As the fans chant, beat LA.
What a big chance for Gillespie.
There's the strike right down Broadway, 1-1.
Gillespie in his first 3 starts was 0 for 10 with 4 strikeouts. In his last 4+, including tonight, 6 for his last 17, 3 doubles and a homer. Bouncing ball to the middle of the diamond. The only play all the way across the diamond. He got his ground ball, but it wasn't hit hard enough. 4-2 the score. And now runners on second and third.
Well, if you're going to make outs, make productive ones, and that is certainly a productive out. Get the run across. It's now 4-2. The runners move up, and a base hit now will tie up the ball game. That run will be charged to Chad Billingsley. So a leadoff walk comes around to score.
For the first time since May 3rd at Houston, 25 straight of them had not for the Diamondbacks. 25 straight walks had not scored. Here's Chris Snyder. Rusty Ryle has a bat. He's on deck. There's Rusty.
Having a heck of a year. Oh, boy, right down the middle and tied up Snyder.
One and one the count.
Ball must have got on Snyder a little quicker than he thought, because that one split the plate. Something off speed there. Dipped out of the zone. Good patience there from Chris.
His stuff not quite as hard, but Cesar Valdez is like this. Everything diving down, low, changeups. You're not quite sure what's what. 2-1 the count.
Right over the top of it on a ball that really ran in on him. Ended up being way inside. Aaron Heilman getting loose.
Chopped out to short. And in time for the out. The Diamondbacks manage 1. They still trail it by 2. Hope you're having a good night so far, and your Monday was a good one. Don't forget what's brewing. Do we not have any other video from this? Tomorrow, Dodgers and Diamondbacks, Miller Lite, Diamondbacks Live. The pool pregame starts at 6.
Some of the best footage you'll ever see
That is
right there.
unbelievable.
What a great job they do in the truck. Getting
Golly.
that crystal clear footage.
Look at you clapping. Ha, it'll be you tomorrow, pal.
No. I think it's going to be Joe Borowski.
Vote Gracie into the pool. I had a great idea initially. I thought I'd support him in that. Nope, he's going in. He paid the truck $20 a person to keep showing that video. All right. Lopez stays in the game. 91 pitches, 4 runs allowed, has been serviceable, no doubt about it. He can make it a pretty good start if he can throw a quick 0 up here because he's facing Ethier, Ramirez, and Loney.
Cool. Sounds easy.
Oh, yeah, baby!
Somebody got very excited about a foul ball.
They did get excited. He was way out front. There's a lot to get excited about with Andre Ethier. He flied to center field. He's also singled. He doubled in a run. Leads in all the Triple Crown categories, but leads in slugging percentage. Oh! And he lifts that ball. Back of short, shallow left. And out to shallow as Cole Gillespie is there to make the play.
One big out down. Another one stepping up to the plate, and Manny Ramirez. Boo, they say. Why do you think they're booing, man? Why do you think they boo Manny Ramirez? He's a terrific player.
Controversial, maybe.
Yeah. But he gets booed everywhere he goes, not just in Arizona.
He's never really been a bad guy. Hasn't gotten in trouble off the field.
Not really. Is it because of the suspension last year, or was he being booed prior to that suspension?
Well, he was being booed prior. When he came to town, when the Dodgers picked him up in 08 for that stretch run, they booed him mightily as he whacked the ball all over the ballpark. High drive, deep right field. Upton going back. He's got room. Now they cheer. Now he cheers. Goodbye, Manny.
Goodbye, Manny. Find a barber's chair, he says.
Now you're talking, Gracie.
He just missed that.
He did, I tell you. Well, Walter O'Malley would be proud.
He gets a fastball up. He must have just got it off the label. To the center of the track went Justin Upton, and that makes the Diamondback fans happy. Bye-bye, he says. Well, he's exciting, though, isn't he? Every time he gets in the box.
Curveball, it's a strike. Lopez, one big out away from a quick inning after your team started to creep closer. Very important.
And especially the 3 guys that he's trying to go through. He's already disposed of Ethier and Ramirez. Now James Loney, who we may have to just label as that guy.
Mm-hmm. Homered back in the second inning the other way. Picked on a changeup. And to think Loney was having a little fun before the game, saying, maybe I can help either one of these bullpens. I'm a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
Both pens struggling.
Manny Parra.
The 2-1. It's low. 3-1 the count. Oh, no, not him. He's healthy again. He makes any bullpen better.
And he is, well, he's the anti-Doug Davis.
He is dastardly. The 3-1.
Got him to chase out of the zone. He's trying to hit another home run.
Yeah, a little help there. And now maybe you cash in.
Once again, Darren, you miss your spot by 3 feet. You get away with it.
They plan to pull in the infield, the outfield a step the other way. He has shown that opposite field power. The 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. He lost it. And the inning may be scoreless, but it won't be quick in the end. 101 pitches. Mel's going to hop on the phone.
It just stays outside clearly. Who's it going to be? It is going to be Bob Howery taking off the warm-up, and he will warm up.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Love to see Rodrigo get through 7. Fly ball. Upton coming on in. All right, he did. He put the 0 up there. A 7-inning outing for Lopez. All right, let's make that couple fight right after this.
Borowski here on our post-game location as we get you set for Quest Diamondbacks Live, the post-game show right now. Diamondbacks with just 2 runs on the board. Joe, is that a byproduct of the pitching of the Dodgers or poor hitting, a little both?
With the final outcome still in question, Todd and I are going to look back at what's plagued the Diamondbacks all year. Missed opportunities and bad breaks.
And knocking on the door. We'll see if they keep knocking. Darren Sutton, Mark Grace, will they kick the door down? Let's send it back to you.
Well, we certainly hope so. We certainly hope so. It'd be a nice way to end the evening and kick it back out to you guys as Connor Jackson hits for Rodrigo Lopez, who
yeoman's work.
Really did. I mean, here you're talking about a guy that you're hoping makes the staff. And Lopez, for the 3rd time, has a 7-inning outing. 1-1 the count. Don't forget, anytime the D-back scores 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink. Between 4 and 6 the next day. Connor pinch hitting.
That looked like he was trying to shoot that one the other way, huh? No.
Something looked good there. Nearly got hit. That one backs him out of there.
You're looking for base runners. Maybe that one just nipped the jersey or something. You don't want to get plunked right there. Maybe nip the jersey. He did himself proudly again tonight. Starting pitcher's been rock solid, Darren.
Bouncing ball.
Runs in on the chest of Connor Jackson. Nothing he could do there.
Tonight was a different kind of outing, but this season Arizona has had starting pitchers go 7 or more innings with 3 earned runs or less. Tonight was 4. 7 or more with 3 earned runs or less 8 times. They're 3-5 in those games. 3-5 in those 8 games.
Well, that's tough pills to swallow there.
Just missed.
Well, you know, Connor rarely chases out of the zone, so it's no surprise when you see a full count. Let's see if he gets himself something to hit. Maybe he can drive it in the gap.
The 3-2. Popped it up. 1 out. So Connor is erased. And now Kelly Johnson. Johnson 0 for 3. He has struck out a couple of times. Kelly 1 for 11 on this homestand with a couple of walks. Oh, that looks straight. He doesn't throw too many like that.
Sure doesn't.
Four-seam fastball right over the outside corner.
It's like a little changeup, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. When we last saw the Dodgers, Cuo and Belisario were coming back from injuries. Kelly shoots that one the other way into the seats. Joe Torre had a little bit of optimism when he was talking about those two, and you found yourselves being pessimistic upon their return. Because both of these guys, I don't care what their numbers are, early on coming off the deal, they both can deal. He and Cuo both. The 1-2.
Pulled way foul, but that'll give me an wow. Oh. How about voting now open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim? Darren, I know you're excited. Send your D-backs to the All-Star Game. Vote early, vote often. Vote now at dbacks.com.
Good call, Gracie. The 1-2 pitch.
Thank you so much.
Kelly's hanging around. Got to vote for Kelly Johnson. If there wasn't a guy by the name of Chase Utley, that's all they'd be talking about with regard to National League second baseman, the work he has done. Matter of fact, you could argue that the duo up the middle offensively right now is the National League's best. And the work that Kelly Johnson and Stephen Drew are both doing. Drew right back up there with Hanley Ramirez, extra base hits for shortstops, and Kelly, of course, we've tracked him all year long. Inside 2-2.
Well, these Dodgers just have flamethrowers coming out of their bullpen.
The 2-2. Hanging around, starting to get positive. You've seen it bat like this as it starts to lengthen out for Kelly. Johnson still fourth in the National League in slugging percentage. The 2-2.
Oh, a change up and a dandy. Oh, what a pitch.
Got him way out front. 88 miles an hour. So now Justin Upton. Doubled, lined out, fly to center field. 1-0 the count as that one is away to Justin. Young 22-year-old. Has known about this rivalry for so long between these two clubs. He's been around for big games, made his first ever start at Dodger Stadium a couple of years back, and had the depth of wisdom in his teens still to reflect on playing against the Dodgers and the history of the organization with Jackie Robinson. The 1-1. What good take.
Tough pitch right there to lay off. That's just, it's such a good pitch, you can't swing at it. It just freezes you.
Yeah, Russell caught the very, very top side of that baseball, too. That was almost Bob Boone-like the way he caught that ball. Boone would always do his best to make sure that a part of his glove was within that box that you call the strike zone. And if that means letting the umpire see the top part of the glove, fine. The bottom part of it, so be it. And he nearly framed that one into the strike zone.
It's all part of receiving, all part of being a great catcher. Stealing strikes, that's what it's called,
right.
Stealing strikes.
It's not overselling.
Yeah. Those pitches just maybe a little bit off the plate. If you can frame them and sell it to the umpire, you get big brownie points from your pitching staff.
Couldn't get that one called a strike, so the 2-1 to Upton. Threw that one almost sidearm. 3-1 to count.
Yeah, missed badly with that one.
All right, so put those rally caps on.
Running out of outs.
Get that protein shake. Get it blending. The 3-1. 3-2 the count.
Got him to chase ball 4 out of the zone.
Tried to do a lot, didn't he, there?
Yeah, you know, you can't hit a 2-run homer right here. You can hit a solo shot. And I don't mind the big swing, but you got to get a pitch that you can handle.
He was good. He gave up 4 in 7 innings. Got him.
Got him to chase ball 5.
1, 2, 3 in the 7th. Fox Sports Arizona presents Diamondbacks Baseball, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on. And by Quest High-Speed Internet. Get blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet. We welcome you back here to Chase Field. Bob Howry now in the 7 slot for the Diamondbacks in their order. The pitcher's spot now there with Connor Jackson staying in left. Comes on for the 13th time this year. And again, this Diamondbacks bullpen with an opportunity with their club down by a pair to keep it just there.
That's the job. Throw up a couple more goose eggs, protect the 2-run deficit, if you will.
Fly ball center off the end of the bat.
That's a good start. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Want to remind all of you about our APS Energy Assist tip of the game. Get a new air conditioning system, and with a quality installation, and earn up to $525 in rebates from APS. Visit APS.com for more information. About ready for a new system.
Are you? Already, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I love your plugs for personal reasons.
Oh, on the count to Carroll.
It's shameless. APS, I'm sorry for my partner.
The 0-1 is a breaking ball that's high. 1-1 the count.
You know, so do I, Darren.
You ready for play?
Summer coming.
Garrett Anderson. He might be ready for a new one. The 1-1.
Yeah. One of our great sponsors, Jaguar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I sure could use a new one.
You're coming around. I've been working with you for 3+ years now. It's good to have you on board.
Fine folks out at Valley Jaguar dealers.
The 1-2. See, if you start being shameless like me, you carry a lot more clout than I do, my friend. You actually may have yourself a new one in the morning. I have to beg and plead for a good year on the air.
Oh, yeah, the fine folks at Jaguar. Some of my better friends.
Our good friends and good partners.
Boy, mine's got a few miles. Could use a new one.
Like 181. 1-2 the count. 4-2 the score.
Partners taught me well.
The 1-2 to Carroll. Chopper, and it's a foul ball. 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the visiting Dodgers. They've stranded 8. For the Diamondbacks, 2 runs, just 3 hits. Ouch. No errors, and they have stranded 6. Howie worked a single inning 2 days ago. And that tough loss at the hands of the Milwaukee Brewers. Gave up a run, walked a pair. There's Stephen Drew, and there is the second out of the inning.
Bob Howery, 2 quick outs to do what he needs to do, and that is keep the Dodgers at bay. Stephen Drew had to go a long way to his left and made an easy play, as Carroll still runs pretty well for an older veteran. And Garrett Anderson. When this guy was wearing an Angel uniform, Darren Sutton, you called him the great Garrett Anderson.
And he did it very quietly. There were other big names that came through.
One of the more unsung players in Halo history, or baseball history, but if you want to look at some impressive career numbers, take a look at this guy at the back of this guy's baseball card.
Well, there's your starter right there. Over 1,300 runs batted in. He has been scuffling a bit of late. Snapped an 0 for 17 with a hit the other day. 0-2 the count. That's that split finger changeup that he's been working on. Howery, that is. Garrett with that magic number of 500 doubles in his career. And 2,507 hits.
No, he didn't chase that one. Still got a little veteran in him. Always kind of had that smug look on his face. Yawn. I don't care. And then hit it in the seats.
It's a half smile that he bears, as you were saying. The 1-2. Hounds the plate and digs right back in.
Never moved. I love that. That's old school right there. A lot of today's players go running about 30 yards up the line and flip their helmet up. He just stayed right there and says, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still right here. I love that.
The 2-2. There's that split finger changeup again that is fouled off. An all-star 3 times, MVP votes 3 different times. The active players, 2,000 hits with 1 team. There's some special players there. The 2-2. Buried that fastball in. Howery does a nice job.
Does a very nice job. And I need a new Jaguar. Meanwhile, Bob Howery, what a great job he did.
Air conditioning, please. Time to go to work. It's getting late. Hung-Chi Kuo is on. We were asking you about our text poll earlier. The worst thing about L.A. A, B, C, or D, 36929. Well, the sports teams. Traffic doesn't even rank in the top 2. Wow.
Sounds like the people and the teams are the ones the Arizona folks don't like.
Very interesting.
Well, I can't stand the traffic, and I hated the smog, too. Golly.
Hung-Chi Kuo, he comes on with very human numbers in his first couple of appearances. That's very deceiving. These numbers are all deceiving. I can almost say just ignore those numbers, quite honestly, from what we've seen in his career. What makes him so tough?
Well, he's got a blazing fastball, first and foremost. This guy's overcome 3 major arm injuries, and he still throws hard from a very funky location. He comes from strange angles. Kind of throws across his body.
And he can be equally as tough on lefties and righties, as that one is fouled off. LaRoche, 1-1 to count on Adam. He has walked a couple of times, scored, and struck out. By the way, the folks at the great website True Blue, they're a little offended by the poll. It's a Dodger fan website. They do a great job. Their own poll, what's the worst thing about Arizona? I'll tell you what they threw out there. They said the heat, the picture tickets, the dust, or the burning hot car seats.
Oh, I'll go with the burning hot car seats.
Good stuff. Eric Steffen over there at True Blue.
Oh, man, look at that. Beautiful slider there from Kuo. And I like the way you described him earlier to me, Darren. You described Hung-Chi Kuo as a poor man's Billy Wagner. And you know, you're not far off there.
That would have been a perfect description, should I have ever said that. The 1-2. He helped him out, though, up in the zone that time. And LaRoche chased up and out of the zone.
A lot of sliders from Kuo here. Missed there. There's the fastball. Now he goes to the slider again. And really high slider there, but he still gets it by LaRoche.
Can't leave out, by the way, the good folks at AZ Snake Pit that rival True Blue. Jim McLennan does a great job getting us set for ball games. See if we can get a little Snake Pit offensively here. Get something going with these snakes in red.
Yeah, the boys haven't swung the bats on this homestand. Didn't do much against the Milwaukee Brewers, and kind of a beleaguered pitching staff there. Been sitting on 3 hits thus far through 7 1/3 this evening.
0-2 the count. We always want you to bring signs to the ballpark. Now we want photos of your signs on FoxSportsArizona.com. Click on the D-backs page. Find the What's Your Sign box and follow the instructions. It's simple. We need more signs. Need more runs and more signs. The 0-2. Goodness. 1-2 the count. Quo against the Diamondbacks from the beginning of 2008 until today. 17 1/3 innings, 25 strikeouts, 1 earned run. So you can understand why we sitting up here think he is so tough.
Very tardy on that fastball.
Come on, kid. Let's get it going. Get that rally cap on, the old school D-backs cap. Oh my, slider right at his shoe tops. That was like a Randy slider there.
That's what this guy can bring. All this with all those arm injuries. I mean, major arm injuries. Golly. D-backs starting to look a little pouty. Got to give him something to rev him up here, Darren.
I'll tell you what, Joe Torre's bullpen has a different look now with those 2 guys back and healthy.
You got that right. And then they're 1 out away from turning it over to big Jonathan Broxton. Yikes. Yeah. Dodger fans doing a little primping here at the ballpark. You look good, honey.
2-0 the count. Popped it up. Back of the bag, long run in. Kemp calls everybody off, and the quarterback of that offense and defense makes the play. Four to 2 the score. He's got the Mohawk. He's rocking the Mohawk. Look at this. Chaz Roberts air conditioning, cool play. Look at Baxter. Again, trying to make time with Goran's girl.
What is going on with that?
Right, I mean.
Is that an affair of some kind?
Right in front of the Phoenix Sun. Look at that. That's just bold.
Those are almost fighting words.
I tell you, he is lucky right now. Goran is in playoff mode, focused on the games at task. We've heard stories about other mascots around the league in the National League West getting a face full of fist. Happened up in Denver.
Yeah, remember when he filled Coors Field with uppercuts? Not the mascot.
No, Dinger getting a face full. Up at the broadcast level. 0-1 the count to Russell Martin. Howery doing a nice job in the 8th. Skips that one in there. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. One and 1 the count to Martin. Broke his bat. Hit on the ground. And Russell, Nathan, Coltrane, Jeanson, Martin is erased. That's what the J's for in the back of his jersey.
Remember Roscoe P. Coltrane on Dukes of Hazzard?
Certainly I do. One of the finer shows of my childhood.
Bo and Luke Duke.
Yeah, you know, those were good characters. Here's Matt Kemp. Good pitch. Slider grabs the outside to Kemp.
I like it with the eye black. I like it when the gals come out.
And maybe softball players. Boy, the Valley, great softball programs for
everywhere.
For young ladies, young gals that get out there and play.
Some of the best softball in the country played out here. At college levels, at high school levels, at what they call the traveling leagues.
Mm-hmm. All those club teams.
Club levels.
7 p.m. Thursday, ASU softball against Washington right here on Fox Sports Arizona. Washington's #1 in the country.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The 1-1.
Yep, they're going to get beat.
They're going down. You're right. The
Huskies are going down.
Mm-hmm. It's too bad for Valley resident Fred Couples, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. Seattle guy.
2-1 the count. Bouncing ball. Drew will pick it. So will LaRoche. He will pick it on the other end. Huh. We're starting to take it for granted already the way Adam does it.
Yeah, nice play at both ends, Adam, with the pick, but really a great play by Stephen Drew as well, going to his right, throwing it across the diamond. Kemp can fly. And a good call over there at first by Lance Barksdale. He got the call right.
Here's Andre Ethier.
That's that split change you've been talking about, Darren.
Yeah, it was a work in progress as of opening day. It's no longer anymore. Had a great conversation with Howery in Chicago. He has had to evolve. He's comfortable evolving. Not sticking to the same way he used to pitch. Oh, I tell you, Walter O'Malley would be so proud. 1-1 the count.
I'm sure our fine friend Vin Scully real proud of what he's seeing.
They play Ethier to pull in the infield. The outfield does as well by a couple of steps. The veteran right-hander goes up and in. 2-1 the count. There's a big fella warming in the pen. Closer Jonathan Broxton.
Yikes.
locked down yesterday's tight one in which they beat Ubaldo Jimenez. Down the line it goes. Into the corner. Unbelievable.
That boy can hit.
A 3-hit night.
They got him for Milton Bradley. Fastball goes out to the middle of the plate. Ethier just smokes it down the right field line. He's making the game look very easy right now, Darren, and it's not. It's a very difficult game to play. But in the first 5 weeks, 6 weeks of this season, it hasn't been difficult at all for Andre Ethier.
No, he is having right now an MVP season. His team is not where they want to be. And they will intentionally walk Manny Ramirez.
Now remember, folks, the Diamondbacks do not have a left-handed pitcher for James Loney or any other left-handed hitter that the Dodgers may run up there, like Andre Ethier. They are all right-handed. So James Loney going to get a chance against a right-hander in a big situation.
Manny Ramirez, for the sake of the discussion, as Esmerling Vasquez warms, 4 for 8 with 3 walks and a double, so a .636 on base percentage in his career against Howry. James Loney 0 for 4 with a couple of walks and 2 strikeouts. And this is in the second inning.
Mel Stottlemyre Jr. out there to have a conversation with Bob Howry. He's leaving. A.J. Hinch is trying to find out just who's ready and who's not. Esmerling Vasquez, the only one throwing out in the pen. He's wanting an update.
Four to 2 the score. Blake waits on deck.
Change up and a big rip at it from Loney, but he came up empty.
Loney was 7 for 15 in the Caesar series, I should say, earlier this year in LA. One and one the count to James.
I got it.
Had him out front. There's a change of pace again.
Duncan, former Dodger, tossing out souvenirs. It's an interesting lid he's got working there.
He's got a variation on the helmet that the base coaches wear for their safety. I like it.
Looks like the one you might get ice cream to eat out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Foul ball.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count. A scoreless inning for the bullpen. Trying to add another one for this club that has struggled so mightily out of the pen. And that one is low. Diamondbacks relievers combined so far a 6.95 ERA. For the sake of perspective, in the last 50-plus years, the highest ERA to finish the season of any bullpen. The Tigers in 1953, 6.17.
Wow, since 52?
In on the hands, it's popped up. In more recent history, Tampa Bay's bullpen in 07 had a 6.16. And Detroit in 96 a 5.97. Bullpen ERAs. Now that's when the season ended. It's May now and they're struggling. It'd be like if they were to struggle like this all year long.
Boy, you just hope these guys get it figured out.
2-2. Just off the plate with a fastball.
Runners be off on this pitch. Away they'll go. Well, Howery got to find a way to make a pitch here. Try to pump some life into this Diamondback team, who really on this homestand have been dead offensively.
3-2, 2 outs. Runners go. Belted, down the line it goes. 5-2. Loney with 21 RBI. Sorry, Gracie.
Hey, you don't have a left-hander for these guys. It's a change-up that stays right in the inside corner. He just rifles it down the right field line. Justin does a good job of cutting it off. A.J. Hinch coming out to the mound. He's going to make a pitching change. It'll be a right-hander. Bob Howery, unfortunately, continues what has been a really, really tough year for this Diamondback bullpen.
5-2 the score. We'll step aside. Vasquez trotting in out of the bullpen. So Bob Howery is cut for a run. 5-2 the score. They can't keep it at a 2-run deficit. And it does feel more pressing when the offense is struggling. There's no doubt about it. Coming up after the ball game on Quest Diamondbacks Live, the battles of Lopez on the mound tonight, and breaking down the curveball that was thrown early in the ball game very effectively by Chad Billingsley.
Yeah, the frustrating thing for Howery's got to be after a clean 8th inning, 2 real quick outs to start this inning. And Ether with the double, the intentional walk, and then a base hit by Loney. And that's how quickly they've been giving him up.
Base hit to right field by Blake. And 6-2 the score. So Espelink Vasquez faces Casey Blake.
Just a fastball up and out over. Nice job of hitting by Casey Blake. Another Blake DeWitt going to step in off Vasquez.
Troncoso warms in the pen. The Diamondbacks have now, unfortunately, allowed 29 runs in the 9th inning this year.
Goodness gracious.
More than any other inning in which their pitchers work.
Well, the frustrating part of it is the starting pitching of late has kept the ball game close. The offense has struggled, and then unfortunately the bullpen just can't keep it close. And they end up being runaway wins, when really for 7 innings they're tight ball games.
Pop that one up. And the tougher part about those numbers, which I'm sure frustrates those guys down in the pen as hard as they work and prepare and did all spring, and their manager and their fans, their pitching coaches, those 29 runs have crossed the plate in 24 innings of work. And that's been the tough go of it. That one is outside. One and two, the count. Fastball misses in, backs him out of there. Diamondbacks went 6-5 on an 11-game road trip that took them to Denver, Chicago, and Houston. Came home and they were swept by Milwaukee. The Dodgers just finished a 10-game homestand, 6-4 over Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, and Colorado. And the 2-2. Ground ball into center field. It's a base hit. And another run will score. So Blake DeWitt with an RBI. That is 9 runs batted in this year.
Esmeling Vasquez just continues to get his lunch handed to him.
One and 0 the count to Jamie Carroll. Pickoff throw, got him off, but he gets back in time. The ball pops loose. Don't think they would have had him.
It's not a bad idea. Your pitcher's out there getting hammered. Try to get it out some way.
The 2-0. Fly ball into right center field. Young is going back with him. Still going. He's there. He's got room. The Dodgers plate 3. And now the deficit much larger. The 9th inning struggles continue. Score, the Dodgers on top. Taking a look ahead, Dan Herron is on the hill, looking to lower that ERA back into the threes. Pretty good chance that he'll improve to 5-1 if he does so against John Eli. Hiroki Kuroda against former Dodger Edwin Jackson, who gets to face his old club. And on Tuesday, we are back out in the pool, where we have one piece of video in franchise history from televising in the pool, and this is it. We will be out there with you, televising by the pool. Unbelievable. Years. Tom Brenneman was out there. You've been out there. Everybody's been out there. That's all we show. Ramon Troncoso goes.
I think that's everybody's favorite footage.
No, it's good stuff. It's fun to be out there. We love going out there and calling a game from the pool, so join us. 1-0 the count to Chris Young. Two 2-0. 7 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. They've also stranded 10. 2 runs, just 3 hits, and no errors for the Diamondbacks. They've left 6 on base. That's a strike. 2-1 the count. Troncoso, the 3.78 ERA. Has allowed 3 earned runs over his last 9 appearances. And is one of the busiest guys out there. 18, now 19 appearances. Put him right up there near the Major League's best. The 3-1. That's high, that's ball 4. So the Diamondbacks with a leadoff base runner here in the 9th inning. You hope and you wished it would have been 4-2 when that occurred. You'd also be seeing Jonathan Broxton, though, if that would have occurred. And here's Rusty Ryle.
Well, we're probably just one more base runner away from seeing Jonathan Broxton.
Strike 1. Young moves up. Defensive indifference.
I'll give him a stolen base.
I wish we could. Ryle right back through the box. Young, come on now. 7-3 the score with nobody out. Well, all Rusty Ryle does is hit. And hit and hit and hit.
Just the first pitch you see is whack. Second pitch, I take that back. And unfortunately for Rusty and his teammates, they still have a long way to go.
But Ryle does his part to take it to the next step. Here's Chris Snyder. Over the inside, 0-1 the count. So for the Diamondbacks now, just 4 hits on the game. Trying to stack up some hits, some RBIs, some runs. I tell you, you mentioned it, and it was when this club got back into town, some of the things we learned on the recent road trip. With guys like Ryle and Abreu, it's a different look over the last few years for this team. Two guys that can hit a lot. 1-2 the count. Snyder grounded out to short 3 times tonight. Over the inside corner, that's strike 3. So a walk. A runner moving up. An RBI, and now a strikeout.
Just a breaking ball that locks up Snyder. He knew it.
Connor came on to pinch hit, fly to right field to lead off the 7th inning. 0-1 the count. The big fella got up again, as you said would occur.
Brothers?
Could be. All eyes from them on what they hope is a comeback. Might not be, though. As a matter of fact, might be the ball game for the Dodgers. LA comes in. The Diamondbacks keep it close until that 9th inning. 3 runs cross the plate, and it blows up after that. A Dodgers win 7-3 over the Diamondbacks. We're going to keep talking about this ball game. Look ahead to tomorrow as well. Todd and Joe ready to talk about it. Here's the post-game show right now.
4 losses